The number one thing you can do to sound like a pro guitar player is to make your timing better. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in the next 5 minutes in this video. I'm Jake, and for the past 16 years, I've been teaching the coolest people on the internet how to play guitar. By the end of this video, you'll know why timing is the most important part of sounding like a professional musician and exactly how to develop good timing in your guitar playing. I'm going to break it into 3 quick steps. I'll explain why timing is so important, why most people are going to notice that more than speed, and I'll give you 3 quick exercises you can use to make your timing better. Timing is so important because it is the fundamental thing that makes music music. Music is organized sound and silence, and the way that we organize that sound and silence is by timing. That means before anything else, timing is the number one most important skill for every musician, guitar players included. Now, why does everybody notice our timing? Think about an audience listening to you perform, whether you're at a campfire or an open mic or on the stage. Most of the people listening aren't going to be musicians, which means when you make a mistake, even something that feels like a pretty big mistake to you, they're not going to know exactly what happened. Most of the time, if you look confident, they're actually going to think you have weird taste, as opposed to thinking that you messed up. But everyone has a natural sense of time. So if you're pushing and pulling against the other musicians instead of locking in with them, or even pushing and pulling against your own internal sense of time, if you're playing by yourself, the audience is going to notice and have a sort of off feeling about the performance. What's more is if you're an entire beat early or late from other musicians, for example, if you play a chord wrong and you go back to correct yourself, now everything that you play is wrong in relation to the band, who kept going at the same pace while you slowed down to fix a mistake you made. In which case, you didn't actually fix a mistake. You made a less than 1 second mistake last much longer, being out of time with the other members of the group you're playing with. So how do we develop good time? First is we play with recorded versions of songs. So you hit play on the YouTube video or use Spotify, and then you just play that song along with the artist who wrote it and who recorded it. It's like playing with the band yourself. Now, there's one problem with this, and that's you're not doing a true karaoke track where they've gotten rid of the guitar. Most of the time you're playing along with the guitar part that you learned. That's great at the beginning, but we need to take it further. So our second exercise is to play with the metronome clicking on eighth notes. So if we're doing a simple strum pattern on an E minor chord, let's say we're just strumming all eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I want to play at 60 beats per minute. I'm going to double that 60 beats per minute to 120 beats per minute. And I'm going to count each of those clicks as one of those eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This can really help me if my eighth notes tend to not come out even. A lot of my students do a short, long, 1 and 2 and 3 and in the beginning instead of making those eighth notes even. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then after you've practiced that at 120, you can go to 60 beats per minute and you can put the ands where they go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See, in the beginning, we're relying on that click to tell us exactly where to strum, and then we slowly pull those clicks out so there's less of them and we have to put them in ourselves. We have to know exactly where to strum. We can take this one step further and only have the clicking happen on beats 2 and beats 4. So instead of it clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, I can slow that half as fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That gets to be much harder. Now instead of checking in every single beat, I'm checking in every other beat. The more we're relying on our brain to give us the timing, the more difficult it's going to be. If you have questions on these exercises or you try them and you want some feedback, you can join me in my free course and community at school.com/guitar. If you need some songs to practice your newfound timing skills with, these 4 are approachable, fun, and teach you the fundamentals of guitar playing.